Miss Passive Aggressive. This is her indirect game. Check this out, players. Number 1. The silent treatment. Being passive aggressive is part of her nature, and the silent treatment is one of her most used collection of sharp weapons. She'll express her disgust and displeasure through silence in an attempt to get what she wants in return. She masters this skill all too well, player. So it's to make you second guess yourself and assume that you did something wrong. For example, I'll just say this. Let's say y'all live together. You don't have to, but I'll just say y'all live together. Let's say you've been out majority of the night with your homies, right? But you've been texting and calling, just checking on her, right? Then when you come home, she gives you the silent treatment. So now you would second guess yourself and say, well, the next weekend I'll just spend time with her and not the homies next weekend. So you won't have to come back and assume you did something wrong. So it's to make you second guess yourself and assume that you did something wrong. Number 2, players. Always says, okay, I'm fine, I'm alright, don't worry about it. It's the worst 2 and 3 word answers or text messages a man can receive from a woman. It's okay means the complete opposite. Since being passive aggressive is part of her subtle nature, she'll state her feelings that are evidently not true, and that's her main goal. If you ask her why she's upset or mad, and she gives you some pushback and says, no, I'm not upset, when she's really not, she's utilizing her clever power move, player. Her clever power move. Number 3, mumbles under her breath. During a disagreement, and while y'all are talking, or while you're talking, and she talks under her breath, and you ask her, what did she just say? And she denies that she said anything, that's passive aggressive. When she mumbles something under her breath, and then you ask her about it, instead of just telling you what's the real problem, she says it's not a problem at all. Don't worry about it. It could be 1 or 2 things, player. It could be 1 or 2 things. Now, number 1, is she saying it to herself to de-escalate a heated situation? That's a positive. Or hoping you heard what she said, but you just didn't catch it. Now, 1, is she saying it to herself to de-escalate a heated situation? Or hoping you heard what she said, but you just didn't catch it, players. 1 of the 2. It can either be 1 of the 2, players. Now, the first one was a positive. Number 4, the problem is resolved and she's still not satisfied. Uh-oh. The problem is resolved and she's still not satisfied. When she's being passive aggressive, she won't express what she really wants, and that will leave you with a solution that she's really not happy with. So after problems have been resolved and she still is not happy and is unwilling to admit it and stays quiet for a few minutes and then continues to keep going off, that was her being passive aggressive the whole time. The quietness was just to make sure that you get quiet so she can continue on about it. She wasn't nowhere near satisfied while she was being quiet the whole time. Plus, you got to solve it and make sure it's done. And she just sitting back, wait till you get done talking. Wait till you to get done. Then she finna go in, player. She was just quiet so you can get quiet. Now she finna get ready to talk about it. Bring it back up again. No, it won't resolve, player. Number 5. Hard time keeping her word and promises. If you ask her to do something for you or just to be somewhere at a particular time and she really doesn't want to but says yes to it out of guilt. Now remember that, players, out of guilt. She might not follow through on purpose and try to convince you and herself that it wasn't on purpose. Now check this. If showing up late to a certain place she really didn't want to attend for whatever reason, I had trouble finding something to wear, traffic was backed up, she had to drop her friend off somewhere before she came, that was her way of being passive aggressive the whole time. That's why she just showed up late. Plus, she really don't want to be there. Plus, she just said yes out of guilt, but she really don't want to be there. She'll come up with like 4 or 5 excuses, player. Number 6. Skilled at sarcasm. Skilled at sarcasm, player. Then if she do get there late, there's less time she got to be there with you. So that's another good way to, to put it. She showed up late. Now she ain't got to spend the whole night with you that night. See, so number 6 though, skilled at sarcasm, using her sense of humor to cover up her passive aggressive behavior, is also another one of her collection of weapons. She uses it in a way to avoid any kind of disapproval that might come back from who the joke was intended for. She also uses it to be a victim of misunderstanding instead of the violator. It's used to disarm your aggression or hostility, but turn around and say it wasn't meant to be taken seriously if the person it's aimed at gets offensive. Dang! I was just joking. You don't have to be so dang on serious. I don't have to joke with you. Number 7, players. Uses it for revenge. If she's bitter towards you about something, she won't tell you what's bothering her, but she'll use it to undercut you and get under your skin. For example, now check this out, players. Now, you did the grown man thing by calling her and telling her that something came up, and y'all are going to have to just reschedule plans, and instead of her just cooperating and accepting it, she just gets highly upset and uses that to get back at you. Now check this out, players. So now the next time y'all reschedule plans, she'll purposely cancel just to get back at you. That's being passive aggressive, players. Being passive aggressive. Number 8, players. Man, all kind of tricks of the trades, player, they got skilled at these too. Number 8. Keeps up with all the juicy gossip. Another way to be passive aggressive is to talk behind a particular person's back about her problem with them to the person who knows them without having to directly confront that person herself. Did you man, let me go back, players. Another way to be passive aggressive is to talk behind a particular person's back about her problem with them to the person who knows them without having to directly confront that person. She'll tell that person about the other person he or she is close to about what they did to upset her in order to indirectly communicate to them how she feels or felt. Now, you thinking to yourself, man, that's immature. I'm thinking that same thing, player. That's so immature, right? I got something for that. Check this out. Number 9. Makes herself feel like the victim. This skill can also backfire on her sometimes. When she feels mad and frustrated at everyone around her. It fails when others don't pick up on her subtle aggression she's dishing out passively and indirectly. She'll feel disappointed that people around her didn't quite get her or can't really figure out what she's trying to communicate. And this will have her feeling like it's her against the world. But now check this out. She feels trapped in a world all by herself, but she won't really have to be by herself. You know why? If she comes correct and direct, she can be understood instead of being misunderstood. You see what I mean? So the world, she's not trapped in her own world. She's trapped in her immature world. She's not trapped in the world by herself. If you come direct and correct, you'll get what you need instead of playing this immature game, player. But this is her being passive aggressive, players. I just want to break that down. I had a few more, but these are like the main 9. So I just want to kick these to you, players. All right, players, respect.